Welcome everybody to this Local 5 digital update on your severe storm rolling through. We've got a winter storm. It's a major winter storm. It's got quite a bit of snow so far. We'll get to that in just a second. But thanks for joining us on YouTube and Facebook Live. Well, let's talk about it. We have, first of all, the blizzard warning. It is the big news out there. The National Weather Service issuing that blizzard warning. It doesn't go in effect, though, until Thursday at noon. That's because the winds aren't going to be strong enough until then, and they really get stronger actually on Friday. So this blizzard warning goes all the way through the day on Friday, even though the snow is long gone. We do have still a winter storm warning in effect, and that's actually in effect for pretty much all of central Iowa until the blizzard warning kicks in, which is going to be happening tomorrow. Here's a live look at some of those roads, and they are 100% snow covered out there. Of course, you've got traffic on them, so in some areas maybe the snow gets pushed off where the tracks are, but you know there's probably a little bit of ice under there as well. So pretty tough going tonight. You can get around, but just be careful, that's for sure. Here's the way the DOT reports it. We got the magenta color all over central Iowa, 100% snow covered here, including the Ames area where it's really been coming down up there, as we'll talk about. Here's the state view, and you can see where the snow's been the heaviest is really right through central Iowa, heading up into Waterloo and Mason City right now. The big picture, well, we are not alone. We've got snow and ice everywhere. These red colors out here, South Dakota, Nebraska, there's red. That basically is impassable roadways, so pretty bad. And this is the dark purple is travel not advised, so it even gets worse out there. They've got the wind blowing. That's what's going to translate and transfer and move into our area. We are going to see that wind picking up. So we've got a few problems ahead of us here. Here's what it looks like on Thursday. We're going to see the early morning snow. Some debate on how long that snow will last. Some models are saying it might last till 9 or 10 o'clock. Others say it's out of here by 6 o'clock, so we'll have to see how that pans out. Either way, it's going to be windy and colder. Temperatures falling on Thursday, so that's going to be a problem. And then Friday, it's just a ground blizzard. The biggest problem on Friday, well, two things. We've got the winds 40 to 50 miles per hour pretty much all day, and we've also got dangerous wind chills in the negative 30s all day long. And then it does get better Saturday, but it's still a dangerous cold out there with a little bit of wind and very cold temperatures out there. Here's your snowfall forecast. We'll cut to it right now. These are what we expect to have for total amount. And there's this little hot spot up here by Ames and Story County because you've already seen 3 or 4 inches. I think that's an area that could see maybe up to 8 inches. Certainly 7 inches is definitely in the cards there. Now, we're looking outside tonight. The visibility has actually improved a little bit. We're not seeing the heavy snow here, at least in the Des Moines area right now. Temperatures 18 degrees, wind chills at 10, and that wind is north at 6. Of course, the wind is north at 6, but it's not strong yet. It'll get stronger as this low develops and pushes away. So the heavier snow that we've been seeing come through the metro and up into Story County, it's pushing off to the east right now. So we're getting the lighter snow. We're going to kind of have a break here for a while, but it's expected to fill back in later on this evening as more energy comes into the atmosphere in our area. So we got 2 areas, there's 3 snow reports, one in Fort Dodge, a little bit there. But these snow reports, let's take a look at those. And we're looking at this one in Ames. That was 3.3 inches of snow at about 7 o'clock. And at 7:30, Colo reported 4 inches of snow there in the northeastern part of Story County. 4 inches already, and I expect to see possibly 3 or 4 more on top of that. The caveat here is that it's been very calm up here and it's a very fluffy snow, so it's probably easy to measure that fluffy snow. When the wind starts blowing it around, it's going to compact it. So the wind just generally breaks up the snowflakes and it becomes a tighter snow. And you know how snowdrifts are. Sometimes they're so tight you can almost walk on them. That's not the case. It's a fluffy snow out there. That's why it's measuring so high right now. Still the snow coming down through southern Iowa here, light to occasionally moderate. Looks like Newton probably seeing some moderate snow right now in that area. So let's talk about wind speeds. Again, we got kind of calm conditions here. The calm before the storm through central Iowa, less than 8 miles per hour, really 6 to calm. And then you can see the forecasted winds. It's actually not doing a very good job there, but it is going to change direction here, and this is happening around 10 p.m. They really start to crank up, and that's when they start to go. After midnight, we're talking winds over 30 miles per hour expected here, and it's going to continue to be that way through the day on Thursday, maybe get a little stronger in the afternoon. That's when the blizzard warning kicks in the afternoon, and some of those winds gusting higher. So this is at 4 p.m. See what happens as we go into Friday here. They actually go higher, and we're close to 50 miles per hour here, and I think somebody's going to get to 50 miles per hour. You take some snow and 50-mile-per-hour winds, and you have a blizzard. It's called a ground blizzard. It'll make whiteout conditions, especially in rural areas. It's not as apparent in the cities, but boy, out in those open areas, it really gets bad. So our temperatures are pretty cold already here in northwest Iowa. It's 0 right now in Spencer. The wind chill is 21 below. This is all coming our way. You thought it was cold out there earlier today. It's going to get a whole lot colder. Let's watch these futurecast temperatures and wind chills. Just dive on down to the southeast here. We'll pause it at 7 a.m. tomorrow, and this is our forecast. We're at 3 below. Wind chill around 30 below in central Iowa, and it's even worse up in northwest Iowa. Wind chill of 40 below in Sioux City. It is going to be nasty. I mean, it's a dangerous kind of cold out there, and it stays that way as we go through the day on Thursday. In fact, temperatures actually get colder during the day. So we're down to 8 below now in Des Moines by the end of the afternoon. And then it continues to drop Thursday night. Wind chill staying in the 30s below 0, and it stays that way all the way through Friday. So no relief there. Now, as far as frostbite goes, just a reminder, when you get wind chills this cold, 30 below, 35 below, it's like 20, 25 minutes or less, just depending on your metabolism and things, other factors. So you can see where the cold air is. We're not kidding. These are actual temperatures. Bismarck 18 below, Fargo 14 below, and it is coming on down with a vengeance as it pushes on behind this low pressure system. So here's our first wave of snow. You can really see that jet stream energy right there, just kind of pushing its way really, really hard. That is just a bunch of energy pushing into the system, and it's going to transfer that energy and make some more snow in our area. The surface low is kind of diving to the south, but that energy will be enough to create the snowfall here. So here's our future cast, and this is 8 p.m. tonight. Expecting that snow to fill back in this area, and that'll continue into the early morning hours. A little break there, but then we get the second wave coming through about 5 a.m. This may expand. That's the big question mark. If this expands and it takes its time going through, our totals will be higher. If it blows out of here like this, we will be what we expect. And there's that wind and the temperatures falling. Of course, no more snow as we go to Thursday afternoon. It's all about the wind and the cold beyond that point. So that's what we're dealing with that as it pushes on out. And the clouds will probably stick around Thursday, and even Friday the clouds stick around. So this is a computer model, and this is additional snowfall from this moment on. It has another 3.3 from this moment on. That would probably put us close to 5 inches in Des Moines if that holds true. Ames has already got maybe 4 inches. That put you at about 6.5 inches. So if this holds true, yeah, we're going to fall in that range that we were talking about earlier, about 4 to 7 inches. So snow increasing tonight, colder, windy late tonight, a low near 4 below, and those winds picking up tomorrow, 20 to 35, gusting higher up to about 40 or 45. So blowing snow will continue. 10-day forecast from Holt. Well, you can see we got to climb out of the deep freeze and get back to the refrigerator. We are going to be in the sub-zero readings there for 2 days. Really, highs in Thursday and Friday are both below 0. For the entire day. So actually, it's been more than a week since we were above freezing, and we got to wait until next week. And it does look like warmer weather is coming later next week. And I will say that it could start sooner. There's a system coming through Sunday night into Monday, so Christmas night into Monday. It might bring us some snow, but if it's a weak system, then our warming will start sooner. It'll start warming on Tuesday. We'll actually see even maybe some 40s next week. So there's a chance we could even be warmer than what I'm showing here. But either way, we got to deal with what's in front of us, and that is a big winter storm that's blowing on through. Well, thanks for joining us here on Facebook and YouTube. Of course, we will have updates. We have a newscast on CW at 9 o'clock. We'll have more information there. And also, of course, we will have our newscast at 10 o'clock on Local 5. Thanks for watching, and stay safe, and we'll try to help you.